Have a top tier. It is Mitt Romney, Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann.
We have a new top tier, and it's Perry, Mitt Romney, and Bachmann.
There's now a top tier in this race, at least for now, of Romney, Perry, and Bachmann.
I mean, I think that's fair to say.
Big developments this weekend. Perry's in, Pawlenty's out, Bachmann wins in Ames. And there seems to be the sense of a new top tier, Bachmann, Perry, Romney. What do you make of that?
We definitely got a lot more clarity in this race. And with Perry going in on the same day, you really got the sense that we've got a three-person race at this point between Perry and Bachmann fighting it out on the right, waiting to be the anti-Romney.
That there's going to be kind of a two-stage race. First of all, Bachmann and Perry facing off to see who's going to be the champion of the Tea Party and the Social Conservatives, and then the winner of that is the anti-Romney going up against the frontrunners. It's silly to even talk about that at this point.
The Republican primary process now looks a lot like what we're accustomed to seeing out of the Democrats. They usually have sort of an establishment candidate and a challenger.
I have gotten a ton of email today from people saying, look, Ron Paul finished 152 votes behind Michelle Bachmann in the Ames straw poll, basically a dead heat. Why aren't we giving him his due?
Ron Paul is not going to be president of the United States. The next president of the United States is going to have the name Bachmann or Perry or Romney or Obama. And that's probably it, unless somebody enters the field.
If our views, keep growing in popularity as they are, it's a real threat to the establishment. So the establishment is well protected in many of those individuals that control the 5 major networks.
Let's talk about Ron Paul, because he just won another straw poll in California, and he keeps winning straw polls, but I guess if history is any gauge, it doesn't really mean very much. California says, see, we are talking about Ron Paul.
Right now, live right next to the bus behind us, Ron Paul is speaking, and 7 of the candidates are here today. We have live pictures of Ron Paul, but you know what? We're talking about Sarah Palin, and we're talking about Rick Perry, the 2 people not in the race yet, Drew.
And guess what, Paul? If you get video of Sarah Palin or get a soundbite from her, bring that back to us. You can hold the Ron Paul stuff.
And Catherine, what do you say? Is he being ignored, or for good reason? How do you come down on this?
I think Ron Paul is getting a tremendous amount of coverage for someone who's never going to be president. He knows that, the press knows that, everyone's behaving as if he's never going to be president.
A new Gallup survey showing Rick Perry running second to Mitt Romney, knocking down Iowa favorite Michelle Bachmann to 4th.
I think there's a long, proud tradition of fringy candidates mixing things up and making it exciting.
Anyone give the sense Ron Paul, like crazy Uncle Ron? Listen, I've done a show on why conservatives shouldn't vote for Ron Paul.
Poll. Romney leads New Hampshire. Huntsman 3rd, Perry 4th. Now, do they know how to count? Why would they omit saying who was in second?
Well, you know why? Ron Paul.
All right, my dumbest thing of the week is Ron Paul.
The winner is Ron Paul with 32%.
Ron Paul did not win, in my opinion, by any... As a matter of fact, I think he lost the debate. I think all of us could make the case for anyone, maybe except with the exception of Ron Paul. We can make the case that any Republican right now can win this race.
Another question about electability. Do you have any, sir? There's always the question as to whether or not you are, in fact, viable.
What's success for you in this campaign?
What's success? Well, to win is one is the goal.
That's not going to happen.
You know, you don't need a majority. You need, what he said, was an irate, tireless,
minority willing to start the brush fires of freedom in the minds of man.
I am gaining recognition in the campaign, and it's a threat to a lot of people. It's a threat to the military-industrial complex. It's a threat to the bankers, the big corporations who get all the benefit. It's a threat to the people who preach that we have to be in the world and be in all these countries. So I think it's big banks, big money, big corporations, and the people who want to be the warmongers.